Hello and welcome to today's live broadcast. Today we are going to be talking about, can you see me? I'm going to make sure we actually went live today. Today we are going to be talking about intermittent fasting and what we're going to call the new norm. And I want to start today's conversation off with the fact that I am not a doctor. I am a health and fitness coach who has been practicing intermittent fasting for about the last 4 years and training and coaching other women to create an intermittent fasting lifestyle for themselves via our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman online course and what we share here in this community. So the information I'm going to give to you today is pretty out there. It's not anything that I have done, that I'm creating on my own. It's just information that's readily available. What I want to do today is put a little spin on it for us and how it is as aging women who are incorporating intermittent fasting can really take advantage of what intermittent fasting can do for us and what is going to be our new norm, and how it is we are going to be going about our life moving forward. So welcome if you're jumping on. Like I said, my name is Diane. I am the creator of the Intermittent Fasting for Today's online course and community. And I have been practicing intermittent fasting myself for the last 4 years and have developed a lifestyle regimen for us as aging women to really be able to take advantage of everything that intermittent fasting has to offer us as we're going through the aging process and all of the things that we are unhappy and uncomfortable with that go along with that. So please make sure you leave a comment in the comment section. Today is a community discussion, question and answer type of event. So I really like to take advantage of the opportunity that I have to communicate with all of you as well. And if you haven't already done so, please make sure you hit that like button on YouTube and on Facebook. That helps our content here become more discoverable for people who are also searching this type of information. So let's talk about viruses in general. So we know that, viruses are just basically parasites and they attack our bodies and they feed off of us. So they are a one-way type of environment or mechanism in our system, and they take from us. And that's basically what a virus is. So we know through the practice of intermittent fasting, or maybe you're new to intermittent fasting and you don't know this yet, but intermittent fasting does really provide an opportunity for our body to create its own defense mechanism and to have an opportunity to heal itself. And that is really how our body has been designed to work. It has been designed to work to be able to take care of itself when the opportunity presents itself. What happens in everyday life for most people in society is that we are constantly interrupting the process that our body has been designed to take advantage of, and that is taking care of itself, because we're either constantly self-medicating or we're constantly consuming food and we're interrupting the process of self-healing. So we also know that glucose, or a sugar-like environment in our body chemistry, is where a lot of the breakdown is happening for us, especially us aging women. And we also know that glucose, or a sugar-type chemical environment in our body, is also where a lot of diseases and illnesses are taking place. And when we have a less glucose type environment and we have a more ketone or fat adaptive type of environment, that we really do provide our body the most advantageous opportunity chemically or chemistry wise to fight off disease. And so this is where intermittent fasting can really come into play. And I'm going to keep this conversation based on intermittent fasting with the assumption that developing a lifestyle over time and consistency can provide us an opportunity to take advantage of intermittent fasting to keep our body in a healing state without having to go to extremisms for that healing process. So we're talking about a 24-hour window where we ask ourselves those two basic questions: how long will I fast, and how well will I feast, to keep ourselves in that healing type of environment. So we know that when we have a controlled glucose environment, or glucose levels remain low, so we're not living off that sugar type of chemistry, and we have a more fat adaptive or ketogenic, and I'm not speaking about the diet, I'm speaking about the body chemistry environment that's more ketogenic, that we have the opportunity to put ourselves into the state of autophagy. So less sugar, more fat adaptive, and we had the opportunity to reach the levels of autophagy, which is where we are doing all of that self-healing. We know that our body, when it is in a state of autophagy, or less sugar, more ketones, that we have an opportunity to literally eat away at microbiomes, bacteria, viruses, parasites, and have the opportunity for our body to eat away at its own dead and damaged protein cells, offering that opportunity to recirculate new cellular DNA. So how does this apply to our new norm? We know life moving forward is going to be totally different for us, or the way that we are accustomed to living our life. And so why wouldn't we want to automatically create this environment for ourselves on an everyday basis? And how do we do that without having to go to extremes? We know that most people, or the most common approach to intermittent fasting, is the 16-hour fast with the 8-hour feast. That's a pretty standard way to introduce intermittent fasting. Where it differs for a lot of us in this aging woman community, or for a lot of people who enter into intermittent fasting a little behind the 8 ball, is that we're already suffering a lot of that cellular damage, or we're battling some of these lifestyle type of illnesses. So a lot of the sugar related diseases, we have to fight off the pre-diabetic states, the insulin resistance, the metabolic syndrome type of atmosphere that our body is going through with the inability to lose weight, and just that slow breakdown of what happens when we start going through some of these hormonal changes. If you're in that situation, then a 16-hour fast with an 8-hour feast is only going to keep you at your steady state that you're currently at, because you're not allowing enough opportunity for your body to reverse what you've already been battling to get yourself to that healing state, or those stages of autophagy. So this is really why we profess the 20-hour fast and the 4-hour feast here in this community, and how moving forward into a new norm, this can really provide an advantageous environment for our body chemically to stay at its most healthiest state, because our body is going to be already trained and conditioned to ease into those stages of autophagy. Now, how do we know we're in a state of autophagy? There's all kinds of conflicting information out there about when a person reaches autophagy and what has to be done to make that happen. And I truly believe, and we are proving that in a lot of our communities, we test our blood glucose and ketones in our midlife mindset shift course to prove that we are in a state of autophagy. And I can tell you that if 30 women practice intermittent fasting and test blood glucose and ketones, there's going to be 30 different ways that we can come up with a state of autophagy for our individual bodies, because everybody starts with a completely unique state of chemistry and hormonal makeup, and we all come in with our own story and our own way of processing what we put in it. So how does that 20-hour fast serve us in a new norm? Well, if you have a lifestyle of self-healing, and you have a lifestyle that's lower on glucose and higher on producing ketones naturally, your body's going to constantly be in a self-healing mode. It's just going to know what to do when something comes at it, because it's going to be used to healing itself. When we come into situations where we're trying to fight off something and we're already fighting lifestyle type diseases, mostly related to sugar, then we are already behind the power curve, and it's harder for us to catch up. So intermittent fasting should be the new norm for most of us, especially if you already know that sugar or a glucose type environment is not serving you well. How do you know that? You're already suffering from sugar-related diseases, hypoglycemia, insulin resistance, pre-diabetic or diabetic states, brain fog, inability to lose fat, inability to lose weight. Those are all related back to what our metabolic makeup is doing for us or against us in this time of aging. We know we are in a self-healing type of state without having to test anything when we reverse a lot of those things that we are no longer happy with or that are ailing us. Reversing things like insulin resistance and diabetic states, you know that your body is in a healing type of environment and you have the ability to heal yourself. We also know that a lot of medication that is issued to us when we're suffering these kind of things just keep us at bay, right? It's sort of like the 16-hour fast. It's going to keep you at that state that you're at, probably not make conditions worse for you, but most likely won't reverse the damage that is already being done. So we know that we can get into a state of autophagy when seeing a reversal of a lot of these age-related lifestyle type of diseases, when we see and feel our body healing itself. That is the true definition of what autophagy is. For the everyday person who is just trying to keep themselves healthy, just trying to boost their own immune system and keep their immune system strong, and who's just trying to reverse a lot of these lifestyle sugar-related diseases, we can do this on our own with time and consistency in a fasted state that's long enough to reverse what we're not happy with. If you're not suffering from any kind of sugar-related diseases, then a 16-hour fast is probably going to be fantastic for you because you're not having to make up for lost time. When you're already heading into a situation where you feel like things are breaking down on you or you're not managing your body chemistry well, you have to go into that 20-hour fast so that you can tap into the damage and reverse that first, so your body can get into those deeper healing states. So no need to do anything in extremes, but you have to understand that you have to fast long enough in this new norm to keep your body in that healing state. We are proving this very repeatedly here in this community, with so many women having the opportunity to reverse a lot of the things that are ailing them and they're not happy with through the process of intermittent fasting in that 20-hour fast. So if we know already that we can reverse a lot of these lifestyle diseases and reverse a lot of these sugar-related diseases, what if this is our new norm? What if intermittent fasting can be that thing that we can just bank on trusting because we already know that it has proven to us that it works? When we move out of the way of our body and we stop interrupting our own body's chemistry and we stop interrupting what is breaking down and let our body just do the fixing on its own, we have an opportunity to reach those self-healing states. And I think if we can really wrap our heads around this and understand that intermittent fasting is such an amazing way to live, that we can really make this what is going to be our new normal and we can keep ourselves healthy. I also want to touch a little bit on feasting in this new norm as well. And so many people are so worried about doing everything so correctly. And that, fasting is, isn't safe to do at 20 hours. It's way too long and I need to be feasting more. And oftentimes what happens when we fear the fast is that we default to the feast, but we stop thinking about what is the best thing for us. And especially during times of quarantine or fear or uncertainty or just plain old boredom, we often become very mindless in what we're doing with our feasting. And that has already been our norm. That's why a lot of us, myself included, ended up becoming so sick with sugar-related diseases because I wasn't thinking for myself when I was in my feasted state. And so I want you to think about what it is you're doing during your feast. And are the choices that you're making fueling how you want to face your future and how you want to support your body and your body's chemistry and your body's immune system? We can allow for certain types of fun things, or whatever it is you want, however you want to define that. Your nutritional life doesn't have to be so dialed in and so perfect that you don't have any room to have any sort of fun, but we have to think logically when we are making those food choices, and how is this going to support what I want to have in the long run. And we want to think about that from the physical standpoint. So how healthy do I want to be physically? But we also have to think about the emotional and mental health that we are setting up for ourselves as well, and making sure that the actions that we're taking are actually backing up what we say that we want to have for ourselves. So I am super excited about our new norm because not a lot is going to change for us here in our house, and I know nothing's changing for me in the way that I'm living my life. I'm leaning into my fasted state because I want to continue to support my immune system, and I want to continue to support my body and how I know from the past it responds to those glucose type environments, and any opportunity that I have to put myself into a state of autophagy for insurance purposes only, I am going to make sure that I do that. And I hope that this gives you the confidence to do the same for you as well. Putting your body into a fasted state intermittently, so within that 24-hour period, long enough to reverse some things that you might already be frustrated with, will put you in a very advantageous position for your new norm, because you will be able to take advantage of autophagy, and you will have that opportunity to boost your immune system, and you'll be able to fight off anything that's coming at you. So I hope you're considering intermittent fasting for your new norm. I know it's going to continue to be the norm that I live by, and I hope that if you're frustrated maybe with some things that you've been doing in your intermittent fasting window because you haven't been able to get the results that you were hoping for, that you'll consider joining us for our next course, which starts on May 2nd. So we do have a course that starts the first Saturday of every month. It really does give you the foundation, the tools, the community, and the support that you need to create a lifestyle for yourself so that it will be just your norm, and it doesn't have to be anything that's going to be new for you. It'll just be the way you show up for yourself every day. So if you haven't done so yet, leave me a comment in the comment section. If you're new on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you guys hit those thumbs up and those like buttons if you're catching us on Facebook or you're catching us on YouTube. That really is a way that these videos surface up on YouTube and on Facebook, so other members in our community will have an opportunity to tune in and catch this information as well. The more women that we help with this information that we're providing here, the better we will all be as a community of aging women, for sure. So I'm going to jump on to Facebook really quick, so make sure you get your comment in there. I want to say hello to you guys. I miss you guys when I don't jump in here live, so I want to make sure I say hello. If you have a question, now's your time to ask it. I will make sure that I get it answered for you. Karina, hello, girlfriend. It's nice to see you. My cousin Amy's here. Tamara, hello. Let's see if there's any more. Is there more on there, Michael, on Facebook? I can't see anymore.
I don't see anymore.
I don't see any more either. Let's see.
You got plenty on?
I got, okay, let me go over to YouTube and we'll read all the comments and questions there. And if I haven't answered you on Facebook yet, make sure you put another comment in there and I'll see if I can, if it'll flow up on me. Terry, hello, girlfriend. Janine, good to see you. Melinda, hello. Kim, nice to see you. And 2019 grad, good to have you. Megan, always good to see you. Girlfriend, I saw you this morning as well on our call. Kim, 2017 course graduate, always love when my OGs come back. Teresa, good to have you as well. Just down the road in Flower Mound. Girlfriend, what is up with this weather in mid to late April in Texas? It is freezing. Anna, hello. Wendy, is this podcast welcome to men as well? Of course, we welcome everyone. It's just that I generally refer to the aging woman. Occasionally, my husband, who's sitting right here, Michael, jumps in on the conversation as well, but always have your spouses, significant others, neighbors, friends, whoever, join in with us. And if there's a question that's specific to them, Michael's always just right there. And if he needs to have a little input to help answer the question, he's always willing to do that as well. So always welcome. Cheryl, hello. Erin, excited about the May course. You have already helped me so much with just YouTube. I'm ready for more knowledge. I also need a boost, and you always encourage me. Awesome, Erin, and I cannot wait to hang out with you. May 2nd is the day that we kick off our course, and it happens to be my 54th birthday. So we'll be able to celebrate birthday month together in May. So I'm super excited. Kelly, March 2020 graduate, glad to learn just in time for COVID-19 storm. Grateful. Yeah, you know, I think you know, things are changing. That is absolutely for sure. There's nothing we can do about that. But I do believe that always having our health and well-being on the forefront of our mind is what is the way we should be living, so nothing catches us off guard. And in the event, you know, there's no guarantee. Like, we could be fasting 20 hours every day and feasting on nutrient dense foods and living this, you know, stress-free life and getting perfect sleep and all those things, that we could still end up getting sick. So there's never a 100% guarantee. But I do believe that if you go into your life every day with the mindset that you've got it, right? That you're doing everything you can to show up for yourself healthy, and you're doing everything that you can to show up for yourself looking and feeling your best, and you've created this authenticity about how you go about your day, that when something happens that's out of our control, emotionally and mentally, we handle it so much better. Like I always say, I have this toolkit in my back pocket where I do all of my research, and I know what I'm going to do if something comes at me that I've done everything that I can to protect myself against, and it catches me off guard, or no matter what, I couldn't avoid it. I have these things that I'm going to pull out and I'm going to lean into, because I already know what to do, and I know how to get around those things. And I think if we live that way, it's almost like we live a little bit on the defense, or I guess would probably be more just like the informed defense. Then we don't get knocked off our feet. And so let's always live in a place where we are going to do everything that we can to keep our immune system boosted, and then we're going to keep ourselves in a lower glycemic type of situation and a higher ketogenic type situation, so our body can always be ready to fight off whatever's coming at it. And that will always keep us at our healthiest. And then let's not forget about the fact that the anti-aging properties of what intermittent fasting is doing for us as well, and keeping ourselves as youthful and as and aging as successfully as we can. And everything's going to just eventually fall into place like a nice little puzzle, and you're going to be happy with everything that's happening to you through this aging process. And I think when we take our focus off of those things, that's when we really get shocked, and we don't want to be shocked. We want to be defensively informed for sure. Wendy already did that one. Kelly already did that one. Lori, good to have you with us from Pennsylvania. Mari, happy Monday from Munster, Indiana, April 2020, 17 days into the new IF life. Mari, congratulations, girls. You're going to be a graduate on Friday. Super, super excited for you. I know you're doing well in class. Keep at it, girlfriend, and it is, yes, the new IF way of life for you for sure. Wendy, do you recommend for a man that just recently started to watch? Absolutely, for sure. And then we have a whole playlist on our my YouTube channel called Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Community, and that's where Michael and I used to come together and talk about stuff for men as well. But he's literally like right here. Say hi, Michael.
Hi.
So he can answer questions for sure. Just have your husband or whoever post a question and we'll get it answered for him. Lori, in class now and loving it. Awesome, girlfriend. I'm so happy that you took the plunge and jumped in with us. Deb from Ohio, good to see you, girlfriend. Adelina, I can't lose weight because of thyroid cancer. I would say yes and no on that. I know we've had some people in our community that have battled a thyroid cancer before and have found some amazing, amazing benefits from intermittent fasting. And so we always lead with the health benefits first, and the weight loss is just icing on the cake once you get your body balanced out. So I wouldn't totally write off losing weight because you had thyroid cancer. I would really, really work on balancing out your hormones for sure.
Your doctor first.
And consult your doctor first, of course, yes. Amy, great talk this AM. Thank you for putting me back on course to 20-hour fasting without doubts. I'm confident now I'm doing the right thing for healing. Yeah, for sure, Amy. I was super excited to have a call with you this morning. And then Carrie, February 2020 grad, have dropped 30 pounds with this new norm. Girlfriend, that is awesome for sure. 30 pounds. In a crisis. So it can be done for sure. It is really just about rewiring how we think about how we're taking care of ourselves. And it does take a lot of rewiring. Trust me, I was the eat every 2 hours, 6 meals a day. As soon as your feet hit the floor, you go make yourself some waffles for breakfast type of girl. And I coached women on that. And I think when we're younger, and we're a little bit more balanced out, we can get away with that. It's not that it works so much, we can just get away with it. But then it comes a point where our body is just so backed up that it can't fight it anymore. And that's what happened to me at 48, is I was living that life and I thought it was working for me, and all I was doing was slowly backing up my system. And when I retraced my steps and did a little bit of my own food story history, I realized that I had been suffering from sugar-related diseases since I was a very, very young girl. It's just my body was working for me and my hormones were working for me then. And when things started changing, everything started working against me. So it is amazing what we can do when we get those hormones balanced out, for sure. Brenda from North Carolina, July and August grad. IF made the difference during shutdown. Your course changed my life. When I got off track briefly, I knew exactly how to get back on track. Yeah, and we really do try to change our mindset too, right, about the difference between whether we do good things or we do bad things for our body. And we really want to focus on the fact that we have the opportunity to make different choices. And so if you start to feel like you're getting off track, as a graduate of our course especially, you know you have the opportunity to just schedule a 20-hour fast. Once you get through that first 20-hour fast, it's like riding a bike. Like, your skills come back really quickly. Your body has amazing muscle memory and it knows where it thrives. And so once you get your body to that point where it knows where it can thrive and it starts to trust you again, you're going to bounce back really quickly. So I always am glad to hear that you guys have been practicing a little bit of that mindset that we talk about in the course 2, and you get yourself back on track quickly. Deborah, March 2020 grad, so you're a new grad. Glad to have you with us. Kristen, I need to get back on track. I've been carbing and I feel it. Headache, sluggish, not sleeping well, gained 8 pounds of inflammation, back on track today. Awesome, girlfriend. And so what I want you to do Wednesday, when we go live again at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm expecting to hear a comment from you letting me know that you're feeling better. So you should start feeling better for sure by Wednesday as soon as you get yourself back on track. And I can't wait to hear from you. Jennifer, though this is abnormal time, IF has continued to be the norm through this time, 36 pounds down. Wow, that's 2 30+ pound weight losses. So congratulations to you ladies for doing the work. And remember, intermittent fasting is an opportunity to heal your body so that you can lose weight. Intermittent fasting is not what we do to lose weight. We intermittent fast to heal our body so that it has the opportunity to lose weight. And you guys are doing some amazing healing. Deanna, September and October grad, currently resetting my body on prolonged fast. I'm at 18 hours currently, and I'm at GKI 8.22. There you go, girlfriend. So, yeah, prolonged fast, once you get your body stabilized, are a good thing to do to kind of get yourself back pretty quickly as well. So good for you. Katerina, currently in the April 2020 course. You're going to be a new grad soon. I'm super excited for you. Becky, hello. Christine from Houston, Texas. Good to have you with us. Lori, great class we're in. Oh, so they're classmates talking to each other. I love when you guys do that. Katrina, Jennifer, speaking of cold, can you speak about the getting cold aspect of IF? Yeah, there's all kinds of theories out there about why you get cold during intermittent fasting. Some people say it's because you don't your stomach is empty, so there's not a lot of thermogenic stuff going on. You're not digesting food, which takes body core chemistry and that thermogenic effect. Some people say it's because your glucose is low and your ketones are rising. You're becoming fat adaptive. There's all kinds of different reasons why. Just Google it and settle into the theory that you feel most comfortable with. I welcome the cold, actually. It was much better than the hot flash season I was going through. And so I just bundle up and just realize that that's the way it is for me. And all the positive effects that intermittent fasting has to offer are much better than an occasional day of feeling a little bit cool. So don't worry about it too much. Everybody goes through it. It's just part of what happens when you're not constantly stuffing food in your face, and just reap the benefits of it. Do a little bit of research. And like I said, the one theory that you find that you feel most comfortable with, just go with that one. And then you'll have your answer for that one for sure. But there's a million of them, so I don't like to settle on one. And it's not anything that really bothers me at all. And then Renee, hello. Jennifer, grad from January 2020. Good to have you with us. Christine, trying to help my husband get off Diet Coke, but he does not drink coffee and gets caffeine headaches. Any suggestions? I would say wean off of Diet Coke, probably. Well, there's two ways to do it. You can wean off or you can go cold turkey. So sometimes when you're trying to get rid of a caffeine type of addiction, you have to know when the detox hits its worst, and it's usually day 2. So if he can get past day 2, then he should be good. Another thing he could try doing is adding maybe a little bit of salt, just like we do with intermittent fasting when we're detoxing and going through that keto flu type of phase. So maybe adding some sodium into his day when he's going through like one of those headache bouts, maybe adding some magnesium into his routine. And then you just got to bite the bullet a little bit because it is a detox and caffeine is very addictive. And Diet Coke is the worst. Diet soda is the worst thing that we could be addicted to. So you have to have your why be more than the discomfort on some of those situations as well. And he just needs to get off that Diet Coke addiction for sure. Once you get past day 2, it's a little bit easier. So maybe you can share that with him as well. Kimberly Knight, currently in the April 2020 class. Good to have you with us today. Trish, currently in course and enjoying it. She's joining us from Ontario, Canada. Thanks for jumping on and so excited for you guys. One of the things that I really, really admire is when you guys really take the course for what it's worth. So the course is a 3-week course. It sounds like you guys are still engaged in it. I always am so impressed when you guys make it to the 21st day. The 21st day is completing your class as a graduate. You will have all the information that you need to incorporate this as your new lifestyle. So thank you for all of you in the April 2020 class who are still checking in and getting the work done and checking in with us here on our lives. I appreciate you guys so much. Any reason my weight loss is showing up in my top half instead of my bottom half? I'm pear-shaped and want to lose it in my bottom half. Debbie, that's just the way it works. Your body decides where it's going to lose its weight first. And I am that type of person too. I tend to hold all my weight on the bottom, and that's exactly where I lose it last. I can have the flattest, most trim abs in the world, and the bottom half of my body is still not where I want it to be. So you have to just accept your body for what it is and just stay at it until your body is ready to let go of that weight in that area for sure. It's just the way it is. And you could talk to, a room full of 100 women and everyone's going to have a complaint about their body. So that's just our complaint. I just stick it with it until I see the results where I need to see the results. And so you have to just stick with it and know that your body will get there when it's ready to get there for sure. Where was I at, Michael? Pear-shaped. Okay, Brenda. The Mountain Valley Sparkling Water has a variety that comes in lime twist and blackberry. Is that only for the feast time? Yeah, anything with flavor in it you have to keep in your feasting window, but it is a nice change. We have the blackberry and the peach as well, and I usually have those at dinner time, and it makes water drinking a little bit special for dinner, but only during your feast for sure. Heather, January 2020 course from Central Canada. Always nice to catch you live. Your live pep talk. Thanks for jumping on with us. Always love to have you guys in the comment section. Corrine, prolonged dry fast to heal autoimmune disease. Day 3. How long of a fast went? Last long fast went really well. Symptoms are almost gone. Water fasting did nothing. Dry fasting is much better. Yeah, I don't recommend dry fasting personally, but if it's working for you, then I say fantastic. And if you're seeing the results that you need, then that is awesome. Mary Ellen, will keto coffee break a fast? Yes, it will for sure. So if your goal is clean fasting, then you have to keep it out of there and put it in your feast for sure. And then Aria, my friend took your course in February and loved it. I'm thinking of taking the May course. I was wondering, do you learn things that aren't on your videos? Since they are 15 minutes, is it new info? Yeah, it's just delivered in a different format. So a lot of women end up watching us here on YouTube and Facebook for a very long time before they jump into the course, and as soon as they jump into the course and they're graduates, they're so glad they ended up taking the course, and they question why it took them so long. So the course information is different than what I do here on these live videos. It's condensed, it's very specific, and it takes you on a journey through incorporating intermittent fasting as your lifestyle. So I would definitely recommend jumping into the class for sure. And then make sure you reach out. Aria, if you can do me a favor, send me a message on via email or some private social media sort of way, and let me know who your friend is, so I'll make sure that I recognize her as referring you to the class. And then Corrine, option apple cider vinegar. Opinion, I don't necessarily use apple cider vinegar. Some people swear by it. I just think it's another one of those things that's just extra. If you benefit from the extra, then I say it was working for you. If it's one of those things that you don't understand why you're taking it, or if you're reaping any of the benefits, then it's just extra, and it might be something that you can discard for sure. So everyone has their own personal opinions about that. All of those things are niceties if you're reaping the benefits of them for sure, and if you're not, then it's just an extra thing you have to do in your day. Victoria on Facebook, I've been doing IF keto for 4 months now. I absolutely love my new lifestyle. However, recently I started experiencing severe hair loss. I've heard this might happen. What can I do to stop it? So Victoria, when I went through that, I had like a total bald spot like right here on my head. I was losing hair very rapidly, and what I did was I pulled back a little bit. It happened for me when I was fasting for 20 hours and started exercising really intensely, and I didn't ebb and flow it. And so what I had to do was really adjust what I was doing in my feasting windows to support what I was doing in my workouts, so I wasn't depriving my body too much. Adding biotin into your daily routine will help for sure. I used a medicated shampoo and conditioner, which like almost stopped the hair loss, and the regrowth came back really quickly, and I haven't had any problems since that one time. You can go to the fortodaysagingwoman.com website, and there's Di's favorite things. There's a link at the top. If you click on that, that goes to my Amazon shop, and it'll have the shampoo that I used. I don't remember what the name of it was. It was the least expensive on Amazon, but it is medicated, so it is kind of expensive, and it will strip your hair of any kind of hair coloring or anything like that that you have going on in it, because it's pretty intense. But literally like a couple days of washing and conditioning, and the hair stopped falling out, and it grew back really quickly. So I would adjust what it is you're doing in your fasting and feasting window temporarily, so you figure out where something is just taking you too deep, and give yourself an opportunity to balance out. Add in biotin, maybe add in some collagen protein, and then click that link at the fortodaysagingwoman.com site. At the top it says Di's favorite things. Click on that and you'll find the shampoo there for sure. And then Michael also put something in the comment section for you guys as well. And then, do you recommend this for type 2 diabetics? Rose Millard, yes, but you, I have to say this, you need to contact your doctor before you do anything, especially if you're on any kind of medication for your type 2 diabetes. I was pre-diabetic, about that far away from being a full-blown diabetic, and intermittent fasting and what I teach in our intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course completely reversed what I had going on with my sugar-related diseases, and now I'm a totally healthy 54-year-old woman. So a lot of doctors aren't really trained in nutrition or these kind of alternative lifestyles around food, but you have to talk to your doctor, just especially if you're on medication. You have to take medication as prescribed, and then when you're intermittent fasting, if you start to notice some changes in your blood sugar levels, you'll have to work with your doctor to get off any kind of medication that you're on. But do your research. We've had a lot of type 2 diabetics going through our intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course and are no longer type 2 diabetics, so there is hope for sure. And I would, if you have any questions that you want to address with me personally, always feel free to email me at dianeparhamfitness@gmail.com, and I can kind of help direct you that way too, a little behind the scenes if you would like. And then Birdie, glad to see you all here today. Birdie, it's good to see you with us here today too. Thank you so much for jumping on. Any other questions I did not ask? Let's see, Lori, once you are at 20 hours, would doing 21 or 22 hours make any difference, or is 20 the best fasting window for healing in your opinion? I personally teach and practice 20-hour fasting with 4-hour feasting as consistently as life allows it to happen. Now, what often happens is when you really get into the groove and what we call the energized sense of calm with fasting, it's super easy to get to 21 and 22. And we often play with some longer fasts to fit life in as well. So you can push things out past 20 hours if you want to kind of accommodate for some things in your life, or maybe you have a short fast one day and then kind of want to make up some time on another day. So that's definitely not a problem at all. And then Allie, I was doing IF to prepare for my pregnancy, had an amazing healthy pregnancy. Now my baby is 3 months and I can't wait to get back to IF, but still breastfeeding, so I have to wait. So done making breakfast. Yeah, for sure. And welcome back. As soon as you're done with breastfeeding, for sure your body will be able to respond as well. But you remember, breastfeeding is an amazing opportunity for your body to do what it's been designed to do as well. And feeding that amazing little baby of yours is a great blessing as well. So don't rush through that, because it'll be done before you know it. And then you'll probably be missing it. So your body, breastfeeding, is also recovering as well. Our body's amazing in how it is designed to do all of those things. So just enjoy your time with your little baby, and we'll be here waiting for you when you come back, for sure. And then Denise, I am brand new. Would it be good for me to first familiarize myself with your YouTube videos before I join the course? No. I think spending too much time in the YouTube videos is just prolonging what you could have today. So our class starts on May 2nd, and if you're on my email list, I just emailed out a testimonial from one of our April students, Jody, who had amazing results within the first 7 days of class. So if you join in the class that starts on May 2nd, by Mother's Day, you will already be seeing and feeling amazing results. So don't postpone what you could create for yourself in a very short window of time. There's too much noise out there, and there's too many conflicting opinions that you won't probably start at the level that you need to start at. You'll be like I was. I spent an entire year frustrated listening to other people's information, which didn't apply to me, and I wasn't seeing and feeling the results that I started to feel once I really narrowed down what my body needed as an aging woman. So I would say jump into the course for sure, and then you can build on your learning after, is the best advice I would give you. So you guys want to make sure that you get on my email list, because we are emailing invitations to our community to join our May course for sure. And there's always special things that go out to our email list that we don't advertise in the public domain. So you want to make sure you get on our email list for sure. Recommended hours for 20-hour fast, the hours that best suit you. So the beautiful thing about intermittent fasting is that you want to work intermittent fasting into your life. You don't want to change your life for intermittent fasting. We call that a diet. You're creating a lifestyle. So your intermittent fasting windows of fasting and feasting should accommodate your lifestyle, so that you will create a lifestyle that will stand the test of time. You don't want to do anything that's going to be on a temporary basis at all. So you have to figure that out for you, and then you just ebb and flow around life for sure. Okay, so we're going to bust out of here because I am on here longer than I ever intended to be, but the comments in the community section are amazing. I value you guys more than I could ever express to you in these little chats that we have. The community support that you guys give, the questions that you ask are helping so many other women that are going to catch this on the rebroadcast and catch it later. And sharing your success with intermittent fasting is a gift that you're sharing to the world to give other women the courage and the information that they need to create this new lifestyle for themselves as well. So I always recommend, I always appreciate you guys being here and recommend that you guys leave your comments. Does IF help with menopause? Absolutely helps with menopause for sure. So he calls me his own. Intermittent fasting has helped me really get through menopause without having to be on any kind of prescription medication. So I would definitely say yes on that one. And then Trish, are there any books you would recommend to learn more about the body changes and chemistry behind IF? I would say just Google intermittent fasting, maybe on Amazon. You know, the best book, I call it the Intermittent Fasting Bible, is the one by Jason Fung, and that's the complete guide to fasting. I think this is the simplest book that's out there in plain people's language. I think what happens too many times with all of this is that it becomes so you have to do it this way or you're not going to get results, is not necessarily how it works. And it's too segmented to success or failure to certain groups of people. And I don't believe that that is true either. And so I think that you just take the basics of what intermittent fasting is, and you adapt that to your own experiences, your own food and body history, and then you create a lifestyle around you living your most authentic life. Because if you're going to approach intermittent fasting by the book or a book, then you're following a diet. And what you really should do is take general information and test it out and see what works for you so you can create a lifestyle for yourself. The science that's out there is actually pretty limited, because it's more of still in experimental stages. And so there's not a whole, like, you cannot find a scientific study on autophagy at all because you can't test for autophagy. So we just have to go off of, you did this and this thing happened, and if the thing happened reversed something that was ailing you as far as a disease or things that were going wrong with your body, then we know autophagy took place. And so I would say just do a Google search. This is a great book to start with for sure. Intermittent fasting for intermittent fasting for today's aging woman. The complete guide to intermittent fasting. I think this is the best clear-cut approach to intermittent fasting with some really good common sense advice in there. And then you have to just trial and error it and do some experimenting for sure. You're welcome for sure, Trish. Okay, is that it, Michael? All right, we are going to cut out of here. We will see you guys Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Remember, we do have a course starting on May 2nd, the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. Get on my email list for sure. You can do that at the fortodaysagingwoman.com site. And for my graduates, remember our Midlife Mindset Shift course and community group that is open to everyone through the end of December 2020 is now open for registration at any time. We are not going to officially start on a specific date. So if you are a graduate of the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course and you want to join us for the Midlife Mindset Shift course and community work, please feel free to email me. I will get you the registration information. We are doing live community Zoom calls every Saturday, and it is super, super fun where we're talking like this, but we're getting a little bit more in depth with our community of women who are sticking together. So always feel free to email me, and I'll get you guys the registration information for that as well as graduates. Thanks so much for joining us, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time.